Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Dubnation, welcome to a special sports theory video where I will be breaking down the Warriors off-season and season for the Warriors season preview for 2023-2024. Guys, are you ready? Are you hyped? Welcome to a brand new Warriors season, baby. Dubnation, let me see you hit that like button. Hit that sub button. This is your first time on the channel. We having Warriors content all season long. We live for almost every single Warriors game this season, man. It's going to be a fun season going to State Warriors, so make sure you guys tune in. I want to shout out to Josh for the idea for this video, for the outline you guys are going to see in this video. So shout out to Josh for helping me put this together and the idea to put this together. So, without further ado, let's get into it. As you guys know, it is a brand new season, a brand new era for the Golden State Warriors, which starts with the leaving of this guy, Mr. Bob Myers. He was just absolutely incredible, man. He was so impactful, not only obviously for the team and the dynasty, but off the court, around the area, man. This is a huge loss for the Golden State Warriors. He literally built this dynasty from the ground up, from that 2014 team that lost to the Clippers, all the way until, what, last year's team. Bob Myers was arguably the greatest GM in Golden State Warriors history. He traded for Kevin Durant. He traded for Andrew Bogut, two people who were key pieces in this dynasty run. So it sucks to see Bob Myers go. It'll be good to see him on TV though, man, and definitely leads a big time void. But shout out to Bob Myers, man. This dude's an absolute legend. Helped the Warriors to 4 NBA championships. The roster you see now, for the most part, is still a bunch of his players, man. So it sucks to see him go, man. Shout out to Bob Myers. I think the time was right. Kind of sound like him and everybody else just went on the same terms, man. So it sucks to see him go. A shout out to this guy, Dubnation. Y'all know what it is. Give some credit, a lot of credit, to Bob Myers for helping the Warriors win 4 championships. So, what does that mean? Well, this brings a new era into Golden State. And this brings this guy as general manager of the Golden State Warriors. This is Mike Dunleavy Jr., former player for the Warriors. He started as a scout after being a player for the Warriors. And so I know a lot of people are criticizing him right now, but here's the deal for me. It's his first year as GM. He didn't have a lot of wiggle room to work with for the Golden State Warriors. He inherited a team that did make the second round, but definitely did not live up to the potential, and something had to change. So obviously it's too early, way too early to dictate whether he's a good GM or bad GM. I thought he had a solid offseason. Let's go ahead and take a look. Obviously, the first one, as we go into our additions and losses for the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, most notable, the Jordan Poole, along with Patrick Baldwin Jr., trade to the Wizards. Listen, I know some of you people really criticized him for this, but here's the deal, man. This had to be done. It just had to be done. The connection between Jordan Poole and the rest of the team was completely gone after what happened with him and Draymond to begin last season. So it was either you get rid of Draymond or you get rid of Jordan Poole. You get rid of the guy who led you to 4 championships, or a guy who's very inconsistent, turns over the ball a whole lot. Yeah, he's young, has a bright future, but he's also tied up to a lot of money over the next 4 to 5 years. And they decided, and they stick with Draymond Green. Obviously, gave Draymond Green that 3-year extension this offseason. So Jordan Poole and Patrick Baldwin Jr. over to the Wizards. Hey, shout out to JP, man. He helped us win a championship. But last year, you just know the chemistry was not right with this team. It sucks to see that they did have to trade Patrick Baldwin Jr. But we'll go later on into the ads. We'll see why. So shout out to Mike Dunleavy Jr. He had to come in and deal with this. And in my opinion, yeah, maybe he could have gone out and got somebody younger, somebody with a brighter future. But I think he did pretty good with this trade for what it was worth. JP, I hope he balls out in Washington. I'll be rooting for him, man. but I think he did the right move with this trade. Now, Golden State also lost Jermichael Green. They lost Jermichael Green. Hey, you know what? He had his moments with the Golden State Warriors last year. He really did have his moments. He had some really great games. But to me, he's not a big loss. Ty Jerome, a Thai fighter, the Typhoon, as we called him last year, man. Hey, when that dude had to come up, whether we were rusty players or had injuries, he was pretty good. He had a really good ball handle IQ, good ball handling. He could shoot the three. Shout out to Ty Jerome, man. This dude filled in when he needed to. Hopefully he does well out there in Cleveland. Anthony Lamb, we know what's going on with him. Glad he's off the team. That's a distraction. If you guys want to know more, go look that up. I'm not going to get into that. But with everything going on with him, he had his moments too, but glad he's off the team. Now, the one move that definitely hurts is Donte DiVincenzo. But we all knew if the dude balled out with us, which he did, he was going to go get that bag somewhere. And he did. He signed a 4-year, multi-year contract with the New York Knicks. It sucks because he filled a void. He was really solid defensively. He could knock down the three. He can get inside the arc, man. So Donte DiVincenzo, of all the losses last year, definitely is the one that hurts the most. It's going to be tough to fill his void. Now, let's get into the Golden State Warriors additions for the 2023-2024 season. Obviously, that trade, Jordan Poole, Patrick Baldwin goes to Washington. Chris Paul, who was traded to the Wizards just a little bit before that, is now a Golden State Warrior. And here's my official thoughts. At first, I was just stunned. I was like, wait, we really traded JP for 38-year-old Chris Paul? But here's why it makes sense. Chris Paul is on a contract, $40 million contract, that is not guaranteed past this season. What does that mean? Well, that means if Chris Paul, whether he works out or not, which I do think he will work out, the Warriors can either maybe restructure his contract or they could just release him and not have to pay a single penny to his deal. So why I like this trade by Mike Dunleavy? Well, here's the deal. Like I just mentioned, if Chris Paul decides to move on, the Warriors want to move on from him after 1 year, whether we win a championship or not, the Golden State Warriors will now have $40+ million off their cap to go out and get another star, to go out and fill up the roster with 3 or 4 solid role players, or they can keep the option on Chris Paul for $40 million. He plays well this year, and we keep going with Steph Curry, with Chris Paul, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. We'll get into him here in a little bit. Kevon Looney, and all the other youngsters as well. So I think Chris Paul fits in with this team more than Jordan Poole did, and here's why. Chris Paul's not a guy that's going to turn over the ball. Yes, he will once in a while, but Chris Paul's a guy that's going to look for the open man. He is going to be a pass-first guard, something we don't have on this team. Jordan Poole would come down the lane. He would either chuck up a random-ass three, throw the ball away, or simply fumble the ball out of bounds. How many times did me and Josh get frustrated last year watching Jordan Poole dribble up the ball, dribble 5 or 6 times, slip, lose the ball out of bounds, or turn it over, or just take the most stupidest, wildest three? Chris Paul's not going to do that. He's going to think pass first. He is going to be like, okay, where can I get the open man? And then if he does it, well, guess what? He's one of the best mid-range assassins in NBA history. Oh, and he can also hit down the three pretty good, too. So I think Chris Paul, whether he starts or comes off the bench, absolutely fits with the Golden State Warriors and what they want to do to win a 5th championship in this era. Pass the ball, get to the open man, and get to his open shot. I think Chris Paul, as the offseason got closer and closer, I got way more excited that he was a Warrior. Yes, you know, I have the same feelings you Warrior fans. I hated Chris Paul. Now he's on my team. I want to root for him, and I want him to win a championship. So I think Chris Paul absolutely fits what the Golden State Warriors want to do, the pick and roll, the pick and pop. Get him open for the mid-range, get him an open three, pass the ball to Steph, to Klay, to Kuminga to Wiggins to Looney and Chris Paul, Warrior fans, as the season goes on, the longer he stays healthy, I think more and more he plays with the Warriors, the more and more you guys are going to like him this season. So there's my thoughts on the JP and Chris Paul trade and how Chris Paul fits this season with the Golden State Warriors. Other ads for the Warriors. Dario Saric, man, oh man, this was probably the move I was most hyped about. This guy is just a dream fit for the Golden State Warriors. He's not the best out there, but what's he going to do? If he's open, he's going to hit the three. He is a 6'9" forward who can hit a three, who could go inside and do the dirty work. He can get up and lay it in. He can get those rebounds. The Warriors lacked rebounding, and Dario Saric absolutely gives the Warriors a guy who could get inside and rebound the damn ball. So this guy fits perfectly. He's got a good basketball IQ, one of the best basketball IQs in the league for a big. He knows how to pass. He knows how to shoot. He knows how to do the dirty work. I am very excited for Dario Saric as a Golden State Warrior this season. Corey Joseph is going to fit that Ty Jerome role. We're not going to see him too often, in my opinion, but when we need him, I think he'll fill in a very good void. He knows how to pass the ball. Notice I'm saying that a lot. Warriors really did a good job in the offseason getting high IQ players that know how to pass the ball and not turn it over. And that was a big thing the Warriors needed to do this offseason, was to limit the turnovers. So again, he's a good basketball IQ player. He knows how to pass the ball. He can also knock down an open shot. Again, I don't think we'll see much of him, but when players rest, when guards are down, Corey Joseph will fill in a nice void, just like Ty Jerome did. Also, the Warriors added 2 draft picks that I'm very excited about. First up, Brandon Brzezinski, the first-round pick out to Santa Clara. This guy struggled in the Summer League, but has really shined in the preseason. What's he going to bring to this team? Well, he's going to be Jordan Poole, just slightly better with a higher basketball IQ. This guy can knock down the three-point shot. He can create his own shot. And most importantly, he loves to pass the ball and doesn't turn over the rock. This dude has the capability of going out there, if he can get to his full potential, about maybe 12 points, 7 or 8 assists a game, and 4 or 5 rebounds a game. This dude is very good at rebounding the ball for his size and his position. We saw it during the Summer League. We saw it during the preseason. He had a double-double a couple of preseason games ago. Brandon Brzezinski, although we're not going to see him a whole lot this season with how many guards we got in Steph, Clay, Moody, CP3, Corey Joseph, we're not going to see Brandon Brzezinski a lot. But going forward after this season, I really think this guy has a true chance to make an impact on this Golden State Warriors roster as a starting point guard or shooting guard if we lose one of these main guards, like a Klay Thompson. Again, we'll get into him here in a little bit. He can fill in that void by hitting the open shot and getting somebody open and doing the dirty work underneath. So I'm really excited. I'm also super excited about Tyrese Jackson-Davis, who we got with the Wizards' second-round pick after retrading them Patrick Baldwin Jr. I am very excited. We saw this dude the last 2 preseason games. He had a double-double against Sacramento on Sunday. And if you guys were in the stream last night, y'all saw he locked down Domantas Sabonis. I know he had 5 fouls, but this dude is a beast inside, man. This dude is 6'9", over 200 pounds. He is a big boy, man, and he does the dirty work. He can score. He can create his own shot. He can go up and score. He can go up and rebound. He's not the tallest guy, but with his big body, he's able to bully people inside and grab rebounds. Again, just like Brzezinski, we probably won't see a whole lot of him, although he has a lot more greater chance at playing if a Draymond Green or a Kevon Looney or Dario Saric is resting or not playing or hurt. We definitely will see, I think, in my opinion, more Jackson Davis this season than Brandon Brzezinski. But I'm super excited about the moves the Warriors did this offseason, and I truly think this will be a better season for the Golden State Warriors than we saw last year. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's go to the starting five for the Golden State Warriors this season. And as you see on this graphic, they've added Chris Paul. So, in my opinion, if everybody's healthy, by the way, Draymond looks like he's going to be good to go. I think the starting five come next Tuesday should be Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney, with Chris Paul coming off the bench to aid that second unit. And I think the reason why is not only to keep Chris Paul healthy and fresh, but we really need a good ball handler on that second unit. We no longer have Ty Jerome. We no longer have Dante DiVincenzo. We need somebody like Chris Paul who could handle the ball and get people open. The Golden State Warriors, when their starting five played last year of Steph, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, was the best starting five statistically in the NBA. There is no reason to change that unless somebody rests or somebody is hurt. There's no reason whatsoever to change the way the Warriors starting five looks. The Warriors had a historically great starting five last year with those five together. And there's no reason, in my opinion, to change that. No reason to change that. So in my opinion, the starting five should be Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. But if they do want to go Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green, I think it could work out too. Why? Because Chris Paul could be the ball handler. Steph can now fully play off ball, and we know he is one of the best, if not the best, off-ball guard in NBA history. The way he can just move around the court, whether it's via screen or just himself, and get open is incredible, man. So Chris Paul could bring that and look for an open Steph Curry. You don't have to worry about Steph being the ball handler. If Chris Paul moves to the starting five, which we could see once in a while, or we could see starting opening night against his former team, Chris Paul will be able to give the Warriors a ball handler in that starting five and allow Steph Curry to do his thing and get open off the ball, find an open Draymond inside, an open Looney, an open Klay on the wing. So I think he can fit very well into the starting five as well. Klay Thompson, let's talk about him. So a lot of these rumors are coming out that it's him against the world. Doesn't know. Him and Golden State are very far apart on talks right now. It's hard to say what's going to happen with Klay Thompson. Because here's the deal. Last year, he was super, and I mean super inconsistent, man. Very, very super inconsistent. Is he going to look like that again this year? Kind of looks like it via the preseason. Or are we going to see the Klay Thompson of old, who's that assassin every single night, going to average 20 to 24 points a game and knock down 3 after 3 after 3? If Klay Thompson's going to look like he did last year, there's no reason why the Warriors should absolutely go into Klay Thompson and go to what he wants. If Klay Thompson's going to play like he did last year, he and his representatives need to realize he's not the same Klay Thompson, and he's not going to get that max or that big-time deal. Who knows? Maybe him and the Warriors don't agree to a deal. He goes somewhere else, gets that max deal. But in my opinion, I think eventually, just like with Draymond, just like with Kevon Looney, I think the Golden State Warriors will eventually re-sign Klay Thompson to like a 3-year deal. Probably not worth the upside of maybe 20 mil a year per se. He probably wants more than like 30 mil. I think eventually we'll see the Golden State Warriors and Klay Thompson, whether it's during the season or in next offseason because of free agent, they will agree to a deal. I'm not really worried at this stage. I think those two will eventually get a deal done. I don't think that's going to really affect the season too much. I still think Klay Thompson is just going to go out there, do what he needs to do. Again, let's hope we get Klay Thompson of old and not the Klay Thompson from last year, man. So the only thing that really concerns me, obviously, about this Golden State Warriors starting five is size. Kevon Looney is our biggest big, and if he's not starting, it's Draymond. That's concerned because we'll be going up against people like Giannis, like Victor Wembanyama, Joel Embiid, Brook Lopez. There's a lot, Alperen Şengün. There is a lot of people, a lot of big-time bigs that we will be going against this season that the Golden State Warriors are going to have trouble with. And even these backup bigs who are taller than Draymond, taller than Looney, taller than Saric, are going to really feast on the board. So the Warriors got to do a better job, no matter who it is, at getting the boards and doing the dirty work inside. They got to be better at rebounding the ball this year, and they can't. There's 3 things the Golden State Warriors need to be better this year at. And that's rebounding, not turning over the ball, and not fouling. Now, rebounding's looked pretty good in the preseason, I'm not going to lie. But last night they had 23 turnovers despite the win. And they fouled a lot. A lot. So the Warriors really need to work on that. Those 3 really need to do. And, of course, the perimeter defense. The perimeter defense in the preseason and all of last season is looking awful. It's looking awful again. The Warriors got to do something about that. Whether it's playing GP2 more this season, getting another defender throughout the season, the Warriors have to work on the perimeter defense. Because if they don't get that fixed, the Warriors are going to get killed. They are going to get killed by these 3-point shooting teams like a Sacramento, man. They will get their asses kicked. Last year, the Warriors were able to outscore a lot of teams. Maybe they could do that again this year. But those are the 4 things, not 3, 4 things the Golden State Warriors got to work on. As far as the bench, I think the bench this season is going to be so much better, man. With Corey Joseph and Dario Saric and CP3 or Kevon Looney coming off the bench. Maybe Pozinski, maybe Tyrese Jackson. Obviously, you got Kevon. Obviously, you got Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody there as well. We'll see if a Rudy Gay makes the roster. A Magruder makes the roster. We'll see if they can make one. Rudy Gay could give us another wing defender and score. But I think the bench is going to be so much better this year. I don't think they're going to turn over the ball as much this year, whether it's CP3 coming out the bench or not. I really think the Warriors bench will look so much better this season, man. A lot more consistent. And I think that's going to make the Warriors have a better season this year. I think the impact they have on the Warriors compared to last year will make so much more of a difference. Dario Saric coming off, passing the ball, shooting the ball, rebounding the ball. That's going to make a huge difference. So whether it's CP3 or Kevon Looney coming off the bench, I really think the Golden State Warriors bench this season will be a lot better. All right, so there you go. There's my breakdown of the starting 5, the bench. Now, let's go into something I think we all want to talk about, and that's the coaching with Steve Kerr. So, this is Steve Kerr's potential last year, though him and the Warriors already, Kevin said, basically they want to extend him, and they probably will. But you guys know my frustration with Steve Kerr. You know Johnson's frustration with Steve Kerr. And your guys' frustration with Steve Kerr. I want to see him be more consistent this year with his rotations, with his adjustments. He's always made great adjustments. The last year, he didn't. He was very consistent on everybody's minutes, on his rotations, and on his adjustments. I just want to see Steve Kerr coach the Warriors into their potential. Let Steph Curry cook. If Steph Curry's going off, unless he's been out there for a whole quarter, keep them up in, man. If somebody is going off, let them stay in until they cool down. That's one thing. We'll see him go to the hot hand, and the next thing you know, Andrew Wiggins going off for 15 points in the second quarter, and then he benches him, comes back in, and gets cold. I want to see Steve Kerr really play into the Warriors' strengths, and that's the ball handling, and let players cook this year. We're going to see time where Steph Curry's going up. Klay Thompson, Chris Paul, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins. We are going to see at times these players go off, and I really hope Steve Kerr realizes that and doesn't bench them unless they absolutely are tired and they need a break, man. I want to see our coaching staff in general be better at defensive adjustments. I feel like there was no defensive adjustments at all last year. because we literally see from the start of the tip-off to the last, when the buzzer goes off in the fourth quarter, there was a lot of times where it was frustrating because the Warriors kept making the same mistakes, whether it was on defense, whether it was on offense, over and over and over. So again, adjustments. We got to see better adjustments from Steve Kerr, from Bruce Fraser, and all of our coach staff. Kenny Atkinson. We got to see better adjustments from the coaching staff this year. The Warriors have a good season, make the playoffs, second round, conference finals, NBA finals, NBA championship, 100%. This guy will be back as a Golden State Warrior coach for the next 5 years. And I think either way, unless the Warriors absolutely just bottom out, we're going to see this guy re-sign with the Golden State Warriors. So I want to see this dude and all of our coaches be better at the adjustments this season. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, now, here we go. It's time for my Golden State Warriors predictions for this season, man. So this is a very tough one because there's a lot of great teams, not only in the East, but the rest. I mean, you see these young teams like OKC, San Antonio, Portland, Houston. They can all be really good this season, man. And the Warriors can run into some trouble with some of these youth movements when these teams are faster than them. You know, they're taller than them, out-rebound them, man. But as far as the Golden State Warriors, I think they will be a 4 or 5 seed this year. I think they had a really great offseason. They added to their needs, besides getting a big, obviously, but the ball handling, not turning over the ball, and a little bit better rebounders like Saric and Davis Price. I think the Warriors will be a little bit better this season than last season. A little bit better. Well, I think they won 44 games last year. I think the Golden State Warriors will be a 4 or a 5 seed. They were a 6 seed last year. Faced Sacramento as a 3 seed. I think there'll be a 4 or 5 seed this year. Now, that's their ceiling. The floor is a playing team. If they're looking very small, turning over the ball, fouling, not playing good defense, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle big time to outscore these opponents. So if everything goes right and the Warriors look good, I truly believe their ceiling is a 4 or 5 seed. 50 to 55 wins if everything goes right. Steph and CP3 stay healthy. You're looking at maybe 41 to 44 wins again. If CP3 gets hurt, Steph misses some games. They're just not gelling. They're getting out rebounded, not playing good defense. So I think the floor is a playing team. I don't think they'll miss the play-ins. The floor is a playing team. Their ceiling around 50 to 55 wins and a 4 or 5 seed. So that's my thoughts on where the Warriors match up this season. I think they're going to play better as a team, starting and off the bench, which is going to lead to a better record, even though the competition is more stiff. I think the Warriors still have that championship pedigree in them. Even Chris Paul does. He's been to an NBA Finals. The Warriors could gel right and play to their strength in their game. I truly believe this team can be a 4 or 5 seed. If they don't, a play-in team. An absolute play-in team. So there is my range of what I think the Golden State Warriors will do this season. So, now I want to talk about one guy. And one guy specific. And that's this dude. Hold on, give me 1 second. Not this guy. But this dude. Jonathan Kuminga. We've been waiting for him to break out. And I think this is finally the year, man. This dude is averaging 25 points a game. I know it's the preseason, but he's looking stronger. He's looking better. He worked on his free throwing. He worked on his three-point shot. And he's not afraid to attack the rim. I talked about Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, listen to me. Play this dude 30 minutes a game off the fucking bench, man. Jonathan Kuminga, this season, if he gets the right playing time, will average I think 15 to 20 points a game off the bench, and be sixth man of the year. If Steve Kerr uses him right and uses him well and plays him a lot, I truly believe we are looking at the NBA's sixth man of the year this season. He's just looking mentally great, physically great. He's shooting the three with confidence. He's driving inside with confidence. He's getting to the foul line with confidence, man. I truly believe this is the year Jonathan Kuminga breaks out and becomes an absolute beast for the Golden State Warriors and wins the NBA's sixth man of the year. Obviously, you know, you got Steph Curry. He's going to average probably around 30 points a game. Moses Moody's another person I'm really excited about this year. I think he can have a very big impact. We're going to need people like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody making way better, way bigger, way better of an impact this season, man. But Golden State Warrior fans, Dubnation, I truly believe this season will be better and less frustrating than last year. And that starts with a better road record. I think the Golden State Warriors will be better on the road this year. Maybe not a winning record on the road. That's tough to do, man. But they ain't sure going to lose the first 8, 9 in a row on the road, man. I think this team, they get a good, tough start to the season on the road with a few games that will truly show what they are capable of this season. But I truly believe with these additions and losses, the starting five, the bench, the coaching, I just think everything is going to gel a lot better this year. Everybody's going to buy into the product. And I truly believe the Golden State Warriors will contend for a championship. Whether they win it, we'll see. There's a lot of great teams. Denver, Phoenix, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers if they stay healthy. There's obviously Milwaukee and Philadelphia and Boston over there in the East. It's going to be a tough year. The Warriors want to win a championship. But if everybody buys in, everybody buys into the chemistry, everybody collides well, and we don't have any stupid antics go on this season, I think the Golden State Warriors are going to be really fun to watch this season, and they're going to be a better team and a better product. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that would do it for my Warriors season preview / prediction video. Dubnation, let me know your thoughts and comments below on the Warriors season as a whole. What do you think we end up as a seeding? How do you think this team is going to look? What's your expectation for Steve Kerr? What's your thoughts on Bob Myers leaving, Mike Dunleavy coming in? Are you going to be rooting for CP3 this year? Dubnation, let me know your thoughts in comments below in the comment section. I'll be taking my time reading through all of them, responding to them. I'm excited. I know Justin's excited. Sean's excited. We are excited, y'all, to be streaming Warrior streams once again. Oh, not Warrior streams. Warrior games with y'all once again this season. We'll be live for pretty much every single Golden State Warriors game, man. It's going to be a fun season, y'all. Look forward to seeing you guys in the streams. Guys, again, make sure you hit that like, hit that sub button for Warriors content all season long. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. And Dubnation, let's have a great season, man. All right, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Warriors, come out to play. All right, guys. Let's get it, Dubnation. Bye-bye.